Welcome to another episode, everyone. Apparently, Charleston White has said, to hell with it. My life is in danger anyway. I might as well turn all the way up. And now he's made statements that will have the Rollin 60's after him. He's put himself in harm's way once again with the Rollin 60 Crips. He's right here on Vlad TV, where he says unequivocally that the Rollin 60's the Rollin 60 Crips are no longer a notorious gang. He accuses the Rollin 60 Crips of unaliving Nipsey Hussle, or at least having something to do with it. He says certain particular individuals over there at least sanctioned the death of Nipsey Hussle, and that's the only way that Eric Holder was able to get through the crowd and do what he did. I'm assuming that this individual has went way too far. Again, Charleston White is under heavy pressure already with SA allegations hurled against him by his own cousin. He was shot at, as we all know, in Houston, Texas, and then his home was broken into. So this man is under a lot of pressure. I suppose you would not better tell that he's under all of this pressure. And here, he just lets loose. He used to be from Rollin 60's. Charleston White used to be a Rollin 60's Crip. He has it tattooed on him. This is not the first time he's accused these individuals of killing Nipsey Hussle, but I'm assuming that his time and his days are numbered after this one.
Well, speaking of jail, Big U has new charges. Allegedly, him and his crew chased Future at an airport in 2014.
Wack been told us about that.
Wack, I guess, was involved in this.
Wack been told us about that.
Yeah.
They said Wack was lying because in our mind, we can't see Future in Sierra running through the airport from some crib. We can't fathom that. Most people thought he was lying. I believed him. Most people say, man, he lying. Because we see Future as the type of nigga based off his lyrics, I ain't running from nobody, especially with him and his bitch. But according to the FBI documents, they just didn't run. They took an ass kicking before they took out running. Took a beat down.
Yeah, I guess Future denied it. He reposted
You sound like
video.
you trying to deny. Yeah, did they say he took a beat down?
I don't know, like he reposted a video with Doughboy saying that it's all cap and so forth. And Doughboy actually reached out to me. There'll probably be an interview sometime soon. Listen, I don't know about the situation, but here's the thing. That's not even the serious part over the superseding indictment. The more serious one is that they're claiming that Big U allegedly offered 2 inmates to kill a government witness so they couldn't testify against him.
I used to always hear my uncle say, a drowning man will reach for a broom straw. Man reaching for broom straws. It's the only way to beat him. That's that old mafia hit. Yeah, that's Sammy the Bull, John got it. You get that FBI witness. He just ain't got no money to hush a nigga ass up. He ain't have no hush money. Yeah, he ain't have no hush money. And he done lost his boogeyman stigma. He done lost his boogeyman stigma. The Rollin 60's aren't so notorious anymore where they can have the long arm reach like the law. There was a time they'll get your ass.
Well, there's also information. I don't know if this is part of the new indictment, but there's the whole thing about his beef with Nip.
Is that true? The Rollin 60's are not as notorious anymore? People are no longer afraid or worried about or consider them a very serious gang? I would not say that. Of course, every gang is watered down now. The gang culture itself is trash, if you will. There are some individuals and some individual gangs that are still a formidable force. You have to be careful dealing with these individuals.
Nipsey Hussle. They're saying that Big U requested music equipment that Nipsey possessed, leading to a dispute.
They said he was furious after that diss track.
Yeah, Nipsey released a song called You Don't Got a Clue, which Big U said was directed at him, or Big U allegedly felt it was directed at him. Big U allegedly picked up Nipsey, intending to discipline him.
Go give him a whooping. Go get a whooping.
Saying he was a scrapper, not a rapper. Nipsey's brother, Black Sam, allegedly refused to allow it.
Pull the gun out.
And December...
Nipsey dad get the bat. I think Big U hit the dad with the bat.
Well, in December 2022, there was an intercepted phone call where Big U allegedly claimed he had disciplined Nipsey and was bigger than him. Another intercepted phone call on January 1st, 2023, where Big U allegedly said he wasn't beefing with Nipsey because anyone who beefed with him would be killed.
Yeah, shitty cuz still living.
Yeah.
But everybody know. Out here in this area. Outside of this, you don't know this. You ain't a real one till you kill one. Everybody know that. To be a real Rollin 60, they have always said you have to kill another Rollin 60.
What?
So when you
Wait,
look
another
at
Rollin 60?
that you ain't a real.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Vlad. Kill another Rollin 60. Who said that? Who said you're not a Rollin 60 until you kill a Rollin 60? So now here Charleston White is, of course, now blaming the Rollin 60s for Nipsey Hussle's death. He said that well, Eric Holder is still alive, right? Oh, okay then. You know, like if they wanted to do something to him for killing Nipsey, they could, even though he's in protective custody.
Until you kill one. Everybody know that.
Got to kill your own gang?
The mafia do, don't they?
The mafia kills its own during certain situations, but you don't have to be a made man. You're not going to be a made man after you kill one of your own.
They ain't just killing their own for nothing. They doing it for a situation too, because they're mimicking themselves after these mob guys. So everybody knows. Just ask any crip around here. The Rollin 60s have a saying that says you're not a real one until you kill one. So let me just say this: he's on Crenshaw and Slauson in his hood. Shitty cuz show up with a red shirt on, didn't he? How he get through the alley? Not only that, he shoot him 6 times. Rollin 60s. As he go away, he come back and kick him in the head. Now where my kamikaze soldiers at? Where my niggas that say they'll take a bullet for that nigga? Where them niggas that jump in front of them guns? Where was them niggas at that day? In the hood. How a nigga get done like this in the hood if the hood ain't in on it? And then, when it happened, we go cause a distraction and go kill his cousin.
Yeah, I actually looked it up. You ain't a real 6-0 till you kill one. And they connect that quote to the whole Eric Holder situation.
I was hearing that when I got Rollin 60 tattooed on me as a little bitty boy in the boys' home with the number 2 pencil lead and the toothpaste up in the nigga's skin.
Damn.
I was hearing that back as a little boy.
Well, look.
Yeah, they gonna scrape that Rollin 60 Crip tattoo right up off of Charleston White. So Charleston White, Black Sam had alluded to the same thing before, the same ideology, if you will, that perhaps there was something more to what happened with his brother, with Nipsey Hussle, because he referenced the fact that Eric Holder had on a red shirt when he came through. Well, I mean, I don't know that can happen. I don't understand why Eric Holder, if that were the case, if he were sent there, then how come he just didn't come and do what he needed to do immediately? Why come have a conversation with Nipsey Hussle, which is what happened? And then we all know what apparently was exchanged during that conversation, apparently leading to Nipsey Hussle's death. Supposedly Nipsey Hussle accused Eric Holder of being a snitch or whatever. And then the video footage indicates, of course, that Eric Holder went back to the car, retrieved the weapon then, and then came back and shot Nipsey. So if he were there to do a job, to shoot Nipsey, if his instruction were to kill him, then why go speak with him and do this whole thing, leave your gun in the car, then have to go back and get it and then come back and do it? I don't know about that. But I'm not here to litigate the freaking case. But, of course, this is the speculations. People have been speculating about this sort of thing for some time. It does appear that it was really the heat of the moment. They got into an argument and went back and forth. Dude crashed out. But what do I know?
I'll just say this, though. If Eric Holder was at all sent by Big U, he would have said it in trial.
Why? When you really, hold on. If you were killed for the set, you would die for the set. Didn't you see them guys them 8 trays that hit the truck driver in the head when them niggas went to trial.
During the
Rodney King thing.
The Rodney King,
it's
right?
some
Yeah.
niggas that still like this here, like City Cuz, that come from this land. It's some real Crips that'll throw their lives away like Cuz for the set. Anybody can get to him where he at. Put glass in the food. It ain't nothing. He come out sometime. You ain't heard nothing.
No, he got beat up
By some Mexicans in the
trial.
holdover.
Yeah, during the
no
trial.
black gangs.
Yeah, that's
That's
true.
just the Mexicans, the Mavato love for Nip. Brown and black love. But outside of that, it ain't no gang scenario because everybody know quietly and secretly that was because you cannot do this if it ain't nodded.
Okay. I looked at the situation. I spoke to people around.
And he was going to go do what I was doing. Meeting with...
No, everybody does not know that. Everybody does not know that. Again, it appears to be, so here he is. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to defend the situation. You all let me know what you think in the comments. We've all heard this sort of rhetoric before that, these individuals were responsible behind the scenes for Nipsey Hussle's death. Of course, the individuals were saying Big U set it up, this, that, and the other. I'm not saying anything that everybody doesn't know and have been speculating about for some time. But my belief is, particularly even now, that is if Big U has anything to do with it, then he would be charged with it. At this point, we see these superseding indictments. There have been a couple of them where the feds have a large additional charge, have alleged and charged him with additional charges, overt acts, this and that. At least 2 times that this has happened. And not to mention the original charges, which is a murder, racketeering, etc. The whole RICO. And with the first superseding indictment, the feds had said that they had recovered some phone calls, listened to some phone calls where he said the things that Vlad had alluded to, that he said something in 2006 that anyone beefs with him would be dead or whatever. But they went out of their way, did the feds, to specify that they were not accusing Big U of Nipsey Hussle's death whatsoever. That in fact they have no evidence whatsoever that he was involved in it. Now, again, I feel like that's important because the feds have, of course, investigated this. They've been on Big U's head for some time. Just had not arrested him yet, but they've been looking at him, watching him, building their case on him and all this for years before they actually wouldn't put the handcuffs on him. And since they put the handcuffs on him, they have continued their investigation to the tune of 2 superseding indictments. They're continuing to hit him with charges as more information apparently materializes. And with all of that, with all of the feds' investigation and everything else that they charged him with, again, they made it clear that they had no evidence. Not only had no evidence, they don't believe that he had anything to do with Nipsey Hussle's death, apparently. They have not charged him with that or anything related to that whatsoever. And you say, well, they don't know everything or he got away with it. Well, they're charging him with all kind of stuff and they investigated it for the most part. And they said, nothing to see here. That it was the dude that went off. They had their exchange, him and Nipsey. He went back to the car, retrieved the weapon, and came back and did what he did.
The police that Monday.
I mean, I'm just saying what the feds say. Of course, everyone has their own opinion as to what happened.
Before he got killed, about some gang activist, anti-gang stuff. So all that could play a part.
I don't know, man. Listen, I've interviewed Big U. Me and him kept in touch. I never looked at him as the boogeyman. He's always been solid with me. So I was sad when this happened. I don't think Big U had anything to do with Nipsey in terms of the murder. I think it was a situation of someone who has mental illness, who was, insulted in the moment.
He ain't mentally ill. He joined the Crips. He ain't mentally ill. He was cripping. So let me just say this. Nip, so from what I hear, him and Nip was like line classmen. They go on the set together, right? He really a killer.
Right.
Nipsey is a rapper, not a scrapper, right?
Okay.
Why he pressing a killer about some snitching shit? So why when he come back, nigga, cowboy out there, why ain't nobody say, hold up, cuz, no, shit, hold up, man, no. Why didn't nobody do that? That nigga wasn't no mental patient. That nigga was a nigga that do what he do.
He actually was a mental patient. He actually had electrical therapy on him at certain points.
That's just the prison guard fucking with him. Man, that nigga got good sense. The way that nigga killed Nip, he got good sense. He got good sense. The way he hid and he didn't get killed. Nah, that man got good sense. He ain't saying no name, no nothing. He got good sense. All these killer, gang bangers, gangster, street guys that done been through violence and post-traumatic stress disorder from the streets have mental illnesses. All of them do.
Okay, look, this is actually something that came out in trial. He had electroshock therapy. His defense attorney stated that Eric Holder received electrocution therapy as a last resort for severe mental health issues prior to the shooting. He also noted that he had very high medication dosage and was under acute emotional strain at the time of the incident.
So
this is not a regular guy.
Hold on. So
this
y'all
is not a regular person.
So we already know you'll say anything to save your life. So they want us to believe he was under high dosage medication when he killed Nip.
Yes.
No, he wasn't. I done seen high dosage medication. They like that. He ran to the car. From what the girl said, he was strategically doing things. High medication. He didn't look high medication on that when he ran back. Kicked him in the head. So this is what I'm saying. Whenever your life is on the line,
yeah,
you and your doctors will concoct some mitigating factors. So you mean to tell me they was shock therapy in which prison before he got out of? Which prison he got out of? And ain't nobody else from that prison saying, man, they was shock therapy up. We ain't heard brain shock therapy since the 70s, Vlad.
This is true.
I'll agree with you. I'll agree with you on that one.
I'll agree with you with that one.
So now, why we can't go identify where the shock therapy is? Where? What were they doing this? What prison they was doing this in? This is a made up. First, Christopher Dalton got on. Then they told me, you better get off that case, nigga. They made him get off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, from the OJ trial.
They made him get off. Shitty cuz gotta take this lick, homie. It's some niggas that's gonna take the lick for the set. And they still like that nigga say. That nigga just went to jail off of No Jumper 22 that killed the nigga for DPing. He wasn't them kind of niggas that's finna go do the time for the set. Ain't no more of these kind of niggas. So,
watch your mouth, boy. I'm talking about the homie, talking about Ant. You know he talking about Ant Hazard. No Jumper, he finna go do time. Ain't got anything to do with the set. What are you talking about? You don't know what happened there, man. You don't know what happened there. And Hefe is going to court right now, bro. Leave him out of it. Okay, so there you have it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Charleston White, I mean, he had a whole lot to say there. But, you know, I can say a lot as well, but I'm not here to defend the situation. I don't even know what happened myself. That's not my area. So, you know, far from me to say, other than what I've said, that the feds, they did their investigation. They charged him with all kind of other stuff, but nothing to do with Nipsey Hussle. They said, after looking at it, they said, nah, he had nothing to do with it. They investigated. He could have wanted something to do with it. He could have not cared about to do it at the time. But that particular situation, it makes sense. I mean, why would he leave the strap in the car? He knows he's right there. He went over there to talk to him. Ain't like he had to go and make sure he was there and then go back to the car. No, he knew he was there. He went over there and had a conversation with him. Then went back to the car. And as far as these dudes being kamikaze, yeah, that's a thing for the movies. They're not about to jump in front of a bullet at that time, but somebody probably should have, not probably, but someone should have been strapped and should have ended that deal quickly. He probably could have got off one shot or two, because he walking up, he ain't got the gun in his hand. I mean, I don't know whether he did or not, but if not, then you don't know what he's about to do until he whip out real quick, and then you got to hurry up, do the same thing. Man, you got to be quick too. Bam, bam, you know, you got to be quick on the, bam, get it out. Bam, bam, all in one motion. Bam, 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 bam. Like, for real. You know, they teach these people this. And, I don't know. I don't know how he was out there without that sort of protection, especially, if you send someone as a snitch or whatever. I don't know the situation. But rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle, man. But that's Charleston White. That's Charleston White blaming the Rollin 60s, as you heard, saying that someone gave the nod for that situation, evidenced by the fact that nothing has happened to Eric Holder since he's been in prison, except by some Mexicans, and that he walked through the alley or what have you with a red shirt on, and because of that, some individuals must have let him through. Well, if the red shirt is going to be noticeable, it's going to be noticeable to anyone. It's going to be noticeable to the people who are not in on it. I don't know. You better be careful out here, blaming everyone, blaming different individuals for this, saying that these dudes are no longer notorious, that Big U is no longer the boogeyman, and etc. But, with the superseding indictments, people probably are not afraid of Big U anymore, thinking, well, he's for sure cooked at this point. If he may have beat these other charges for however he may have beat them, with them adding these other charges, with him allegedly soliciting 2 inmates to kill someone, a witness. If they have evidence on that, they're going to try to book him for that, which I'm assuming they're going to try to book him for that. Then this will give someone like Charleston White the strength and energy to come out and say whatever, that he's no longer the boogeyman and all this. They probably feeling like Big U's not coming home and no one will do anything about what he's saying. I don't know. I wouldn't go that far. Let me know what you think in the comments. Stay safe and stay free. Ooh.